this day and age, I feel like religions are all on the decline a little bit.
I think so.
Because we have computers and the internet.
Right.
And people are more open about things like...
When we recognize that if Jonah was swallowed by a large fish, he probably didn't get spat back out alive.
That's not how that works. So...
Stomach acid. I mean, I'm assuming fishes have stomach acid.
Crushing and drowning. I mean,
right.
if you got swallowed by a fish, you drown. Because there'd be water in there.
That's true.
Because they're in the water.
It's true, there would be water.
Yeah, like, no. You don't set up a campfire and wait for the whale to blow you out.
So it's not like, was it Pinocchio when they were in the whale? So it's not like that.
No, I really don't think so. I haven't been in a whale lately, but I don't think that's how it is.
I watched the Reno 911 movie last night.
Oh, God.
Speaking of whales.
God.
Wow. Remember they blew up the whale?
Yeah. Have you seen the actual video of that from when that actually happened?
No.
In Oregon?
I mean, now, like, I feel like it's vaguely familiar now, but I don't think I saw the video. Oh, Diana's gonna find me the video of whales exploding.
You know what? I'm gonna leave her recording.
Okay, this will be like when we make you watch Saturday's Warrior.
Yeah.
It happened here, on a gray, storm-swept beach near Florence, Oregon, a place where the tides and
have you ever been to Florence, Oregon?
Yeah. Secrets.
I have not. I've never been. Well, I've driven through Oregon. The victims.
Oh, yeah.
After all these years, it's amazing that this thing has come back to life again. But every once in a while, it pops up.
It's an aroma that still lingers. It was one of the worst smells I've ever encountered.
Oh, God, there was an aroma.
Yeah. It was in my nostrils for a solid week.
Television news
Only a
reporter
week.
Paul Lindman. It's the story that will not go away, one through which he will remain 24 years old.
It's a snazzy sport coat.
It had to be said, the Oregon State Highway Division not only had a...
Oh, God, the highway department was behind this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem.
I'm a little tired of the whale.
The whale.
Don't let the highway department be in charge of this shit.
A 45-foot-long sperm whale died at sea and washed ashore on that very same beach near Florence. For more than a week, the 8 tons of carcass remained there, rotting, while the locals tried to figure out what to do with it.
You still have to record on your other thing? No. Oh, okay.
So long since a whale washed ashore in these parts that nobody could remember how to get rid of one. It was too big to bury. It stunk too much to cut into little pieces, and burning it was out of the question. So, it is also.
So what do you do?
I feel like burning it was probably the best option.
Over this beach, decided to blow the thing up to use dynamite.
Can highway department?
It seemed to be the best idea at the time, at least to Highway Department engineer George Thornton.
Yep.
As he told Lindman on that fateful day,
Do you think he
dynamite
actually
had
went to
solved
college to
plenty
be an
of problems
engineer, or
in
do you
the
think
past
engineer
in
was his job
energy.
title?
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is, we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to
I'm just saying an actual engineer would know how much dynamite to use.
Did they not use enough, or did they use too much?
I'm not
the
gonna ruin it
dynamite
for
to blow the
you.
whale bits out to sea. As they went about
They were
their
gonna blow
business,
the whale
more than
bits out to
100
sea.
People turned out to watch.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna rain on those people!
No!
Let's go see the whale.
Only one man expressed concern.
I'm thinking we got big trouble here. 20 cases of dynamite.
Walter Umenhofer had come upon the scene by
Umenhofer?
accident. He'd been looking for property that day, but since he'd worked with dynamite and sand in the military, Umenhofer warned Thornton, who didn't take him very seriously.
This guy
Well,
said,
yeah,
"Hey,
he's
how's
the
it
fucking
going?
engineer. He's not
Everybody
gonna
out there
take some guy from the
on top
military
of those hills
seriously.
far away."
Somebody
I said,
who's
"Yeah,
actually
I'm gonna
blown
be the
things up in
furthest
sand.
SOB down that way.
The event.
According to most accounts,
Oh, no.
NASA has launched rockets with less fanfare.
They made a big spectacle of waving their hats, their hard hats in the air, and would clear everybody away and all this, all clear.
The flag drops, the thing goes off.
And they touched that sucker off, and let me tell you, that thing went up, and it was the biggest mushroom cloud you ever seen, and it was red and white and black, and it was nothing but guts and blood and gunk.
Carried by a wind, the cloud moved inland.
So
It moved
everybody-
inland because of the wind at the ocean.
Oh my God, here it comes, in this mist.
We were covered. We were permeated with redness. And the smell.
That would be the least of their problems. Those who witnessed the explosion agree that the next few moments seemed to last forever. Individual descriptions vary, but it soon became apparent that what should have been little pieces of whale turned out to be big ones.
Oh, God.
And this stuff starts hitting the ground. Boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden you
Good
realize,
Lord.
my God,
Oh,
I
where'd
could
you
be
find
killed by
this
whale
shit?
blubber here.
Do you
And
hear
I'm
the
watching
chunks?
this one piece. There's a big piece up there.
So
It's
many
kind of
chunks.
Blubbering and floating around.
And we
Oh,
ran. We literally ran.
And it just absolutely stopped. And it
Did it
came
kill anyone?
flat down.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Right on top of Walter.
Oh, it could have killed someone. Look at that shit.
It could
It
have.
was a neat car. I just got it from Dunham's, and it was a Regency. And like I say, the funny thing about their slogan was a whale of a deal. I got a hell of a whale of a deal.
Yeah, you did.
Within 2 days, the state of Oregon wrote Walter Umenhofer a check for the full retail value of
As
his
you
car.
do.
So you think the highway department engineer kept his job?
Hello.
25 years later, a description of the whale event found its way onto the internet. Some of the readers get angry, and then they call Ed Schultz at Oregon's Department of Transportation.
They think it just happened.
As
But
you do.
despite all attempts by those involved, curiosity about the exploding whale remains as overwhelming as the carcass.
So did they not blow it up all the
25 years
way?
later,
don't think
Paul
so.
Lindman still works at Channel 2 in Portland, along with Doug Brazil, the photographer who filmed the original event.
It's just one thing after another here.
Every few days, they get another request to see the footage.
We have the Jeopardy show is interested.
And everybody who contacts me says the same thing. I need to see that video. The Atomic Energy Commission. We work, of course, with explosive devices. We need this for training purposes. What do they really want?
They don't want it for training purposes.
They want to laugh at it.
Finally, you may be wondering whatever happened to the man who underestimated the strength of whale blubber, George Thornton.
Is there any chance it might be more than a one-day job? If there's any large chunks left.
Well, he declined to be interviewed for this story, but in his official written report back in 1970, he declared the operation a success, more or less.
More or
He
less.
explained what happened to his career 6 months later.
He got promoted.
From Florence, Oregon, Wayne Freeman, 77 News.
I feel much more secure in my government job now.
Anyways,
That was a fun little diversion.
that is the exploding whale.
Exploding well. I like it better in Florida, I think.
So,
Because, I mean, people in Oregon are sad enough.
yeah.
They don't need well bits on them. I feel like Floridians are too happy and deserve well bits.
Right. Yeah, no. So, whale washes up. What do? Homeboy from the Department of Not Blowing Up Whales is like, hey, I
We
got
have
an idea.
dynamite.
I got some dynamite back at the shop. We'll blow it out to sea. And you know, he didn't do calculations. Like, how much dynamite do you need to pulverize a whale?
Well,
Plus, in that situation, there's no way to control the size of the chunk.
right. You can't control the size of the chunks. Plus, you would have to compensate for the wind blowing in from the ocean
Mm-hmm.
and aim the dynamite to blow it out to sea.
And all they did was kind of dig under it and just tuck it under. They didn't.
They didn't direct.
No.
There was no, it's going to
No.
shoot this
My
way.
favorite part is a couple seconds after the explosion when you start to see giant
Large chunks.
chunks of whale falling out of the sky.
I mean, at least
Yeah.
the one guy got his car paid for.
Right. But so that thing was sitting on the beach rotting for a long time before they decided to do this too. Like, it's not like it died at sea and just washed up. Like, it sat there for a while too.
It sat there and they tried to decide what to do with it.
Because at least, like, out in the ocean, I feel like it's going to be chilled. And also in salt water, so less... Exactly. Yeah. So anytime somebody doesn't know about the exploding whale...
I did not. This is the first I'm learning of the exploding whale.
Fill them in.